It's NRG versus Northern Gaming. Which I'm sure a lot of you have already seen, but we're going to review this. This will be an interesting one. I didn't get to do a lot of tactical breakdown for any of the games that we've done so far. Denial vs Alpha, Denial vs Alpha and Northern vs Jam, Rogue vs Leftovers, there wasn't really much to say. They were all, if I'm honest, quite messy games. I hope that I don't mean that to offend any of the teams involved. They were quite messy. But the games do improve, and a lot of the teams did much better later on in the tournament, the Northern Gaming being one of them, but this is going to be a pretty messy start for them. Northern vs NRG, and afterwards we're probably going to do Mocket vs Rogue as well. That's the plan today. We might continue with the NRG vs Upside, we'll see. We'll see. Certainly going to do this one for now though. Let's just max this real quick, push this button. Sorry I was late today, sorry I have to leave so early in the stream, wish I could stay. Have a great night, Johnny Bean. King Spectre, thanks as always, appreciate the chairs, and yeah, I'll try my best to enjoy the stream without you, my friend. Also, Cal Fire, welcome to the stream, appreciate the sub. Am I behind the chat? I am indeed behind the chat, that's good. We don't want to be in front of the chat. Finally got Catfire says, finally got around to subbing to you with Twitch Prime. Love your videos. They help you get through the day. Or you said they help me get through the day, but you mean you, of course. Don't know why I decided to change the perspective of who I'm talking about halfway through a sentence. But I appreciate that, Catfire. I really appreciate everybody who swings over here from YouTube just to sub with their Twitch Prime Amazon Prime account for free, because that does directly support me. Well, let's find the start of this this series. Sometimes it gets right into the game. Sometimes it takes a minute or so. All right, first kickoff, NRG versus Northern. Before we watch this, I'll say I thought that Northern Gaming were going to perform a lot better here. Mostly because although NRG were the fan favorites, that hasn't really worked out for them well in the past. I thought they might be more nervous than they were, and also I didn't expect Northern Gaming to stumble so many times, but like we saw in the previous Northern Gaming series, I believe we have Breakout Remco here, which I'm never a fan of. We'll be paying attention to that throughout this series. The first kickoff. Very close to you for Remco. Decent back pass to Turbo though. The NRG crowd. NRG favorite crowd. I don't know how much that bothered Northern Gaming. I didn't get to talk to these guys at all about that. But backstage, they certainly were looking like the best team at the tournament. Northern Gaming were the only team that were able to take a positive win rate over Flipside, I believe, in scrims. And not just positive win rate, but a really, really positive win rate. They were looking very good. The rotation was just perfect, at least backstage it was. Welcome back, by the way, the Gloomy Doctor, 2 months in a row. I appreciate that resub. Unmute? I'm not muted. I can see that I'm not muted. I don't know why you boys would try to fool me on. Somebody just called this a Skype group that I'm in. What on earth are they doing? Really? I'm in a Skype group with about 50 other people, and somebody just called it with video. I'm leaving that Skype group. Literally, somebody just called a Skype group. That is 60 people. My phone is just here. Sorry for the distraction, but that has never happened before. I was like, why is my phone vibrating? And then it's a Skype call from 60 people. That's the first. Yeah, for the most part here, Jacob, Octane, Remco Batmobile, Remco Breakout. Great choice for Jacob. The superior land car, in my opinion. I think that the biggest thing that was really working, besides just a good rotation for Northern Gaming in the backstage games, was that they were just able to pressure teams without overextending a lot better than any other team was. like, it's so difficult to counterattack this Northern Gaming roster, and I think that part of that is due to the fact that Turbopulsa and Remco are both defensively oriented players, naturally defensive. And that doesn't mean that they're bad in offense or anything, or that they aren't good at attacking. It's just that, for the most part, we're used to seeing them take a sweeper role, or take a more defensive approach, and that really unleashed Devo to just do whatever he wanted. But that didn't really translate to the stage for this first series, as we're going to see. NRG, I think, despite being by far the best team in America, don't quite have as safe an offensive style as Northern Gaming do. Although, with Garrett sort of adapting into more of a defensive player, maybe they can try and replicate what made Northern Gaming so hard to beat, and that is their, you know, double defender approach. Jacob, of course, is never gonna... I don't think Jacob will ever fit that role very well. Jacob is such a good offensive player. Oh, I don't know. Let me just really quickly show something. And I saw this in a thread about RLCS. There was a criticism thread where it was talking about the camera work and why the camera work was sometimes causing problems for the viewers to follow. And I mean, I can see where it all falls apart myself. So right here, we see Remco is being followed, just in case this ball gets missed by Garrett. That's totally fine. Being on Remco here is good. In fact, for anyone who spectates Remco, he's a great player to just leave the ball cam on, or leave the player cam on a lot, because he often has ball cam on. Turbopulse are the same. These two very, very good players for spectating because they focus a lot on the ball cam. Fireburner, I would say, is another player in that category. But if you want to like see what's happening in a game, Jacob, Devo, and Garrett are probably not.
Shut up, but please do take my money, Johnny.
Same.
I'll stick around for the schnoz reviews for now, but I'm still eagerly awaiting the return of the Toasty/Johnny2's team.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Cheers.
One day. Thank you, Buffalo. Appreciate it. Lee Daddy 333 as well for 3 months. Appreciate that. But this was the problem here is right here. This switch doesn't really make sense to me. Like, I don't know if it was intentional, but we saw Turbo in the forward position. That means that Devo is the one rotating out to third man. So as soon as we want to switch this away from Remco, there's really only two options. Either we go Fireburner, because he's following up on the play for blue team, or we go Devo, because he's probably attacking the ball from orange team. But instead we go Turbo, who we just saw rotating out, and now the cameraman is screwed because he can't see anything. And so he switches to Devo, which would have been the correct switch initially if he really wanted to go to orange team, although I think Fireburner probably made more sense because he was closer to the ball. And then this is something that annoyed a lot of people. It's like Devo's about to jump for the ball, and I don't think this is the what do you call it? This isn't the observer's fault who was on player cam. This is production's fault. They decided to switch to auto cam right when Devo was jumping, and it's very disorientating for the spectators to suddenly have their perspective jumped out like that. So it's something that could definitely be worked on. I think it was initially the observer's fault, because he probably made the production guy who's choosing what camera would go on to lose faith in him because he accidentally clicked Turbo instead of Devo or Fireburner. Like, Devo or Fireburner would have made more sense than Turbo in the initial switch, and then right when they did get it to Devo,
you are the best
we switched to auto cam. There are a couple of Johnny Boys, Bassman troll. Appreciate the resub though. Welcome back for the third month in a row. But I think the camera work overall for this RLCS was the best by far. It was not even close. It was by far the best camera work we've seen from an RLCS broadcast so far. So hopefully we get to see more player cam. I know there's been a bit of an argument about it, but I can tell you guys, there are certainly people who like autocam, and okay, that was a bit weird. But there's definitely people who prefer autocam, but I feel like looking at the feedback from this RLCS compared to the previous one, player cam is just way preferred. It's not even close.
Turbo following that off the wall to carry it and set it up for Devo right in front of the net. An unexpected play there, as they are able.
But yeah, when I saw Devo scoring there, I thought this might be really bad news for NRG, because for most of this game, Northern Gaming's defense has looked so good. It has looked really on point. And remember, they nearly shut out Jam completely. But yeah, there's a couple of problems here for Northern Gaming, and this is something that crops up a lot at LAN, more so than online. So let's back it up and see what went wrong for Northern Gaming here. So Remco jumps off the wall. Right now he knows he's not going to be next into the play, and the ball is not going to get struck on net for a good while here. So there's no real reason to be afraid of a direct shot here for Remco. He doesn't need to worry about that. He also has plenty boost to his name, but he hesitates a little bit and decides to go into the goal. And I do think this is a misplay. If he had gone in a wider line around the edge of the box, I feel like he would have had more options. He could have still saved a near post shot if by some miracle Jacob managed to shoot this from, you know, it's possible Jacob could potentially shoot this, but I feel like Remco could have taken a line off the wall at the near post, round the box, and still had, you know, ample opportunity to save a near post shot should it occur, even though it's so rare in my opinion. And then a better position, he would be rotating in from the back post and have more of the goal in front of him, because then this doesn't happen. He doesn't have to fly straight up, which is awkward, which is slow, and which is often just too difficult to pull off. So I feel like this is all Remco's positioning. He should have just left the goal, come out to the back post here, and then he could have either used the wall to beat Garrett to this ball, or he could have just flown forward at the ball and he would never miss that in a million years. It's a little bit too much concern. Good cross by Jacob, really, really good cross. Getting it to go to the back post there was so important. Remco would have had a near post. This is lower, no, this is upper round 2 turbo. But yeah, I really think that was just Remco being a little bit too far into the net. It's a theory that I feel very, very strongly about in 3v3 Rocket League, and I still see lots of pro players defaulting to the goal as their position of choice, and I don't know why. Turbo not watching this, that spoken like a true player who doesn't want to learn from his mistakes. Am I right, Turbo? Although I don't think that Turbo played too badly. I think the last goal of this game was a bit of Turbo and Remco's fault, if I recall. If I remember correctly. Oh, one other really interesting thing is in scrims, whenever I was watching NRG play scrims, whenever Garrett would score, he would start playing so much more confidently. It was good to see, because I am a fan of Garrett G. But, you know, for teams who are playing against NRG, you gotta be pretty worried if Garrett scores, because suddenly he starts popping off and he starts playing much more aggressively and faster. There's a good punish. The infield passes, I think NRG are the best at reading those. Fireburner in particular is great positioning for intercepting those passes, which if you're not in position to intercept them, they can really cause a lot of problems. Okay, that's a little bit fortunate for Garrett that he was just in position to follow on from that double commit. You did learn from your mistake. Yeah, that's good. Good news, Turbo. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Mainly because I thought that you guys were going to win. Good speed by Fireburner. I think Fireburner is one of the most improved players in terms of speed from Season 1 to now. He's becoming quite a dangerous player and a very valuable player to have, because his positioning has always been held in high regard, and now he's gotten faster to match the speed, or the increasing speed that is happening in Rocket League right now.
He'll be over the top of Garrett G, and Remco in the corner will slow this one. Wants to get past Fireburner, does so successfully. And Remco on the side.
Remco with the breakout dribbles. I would love to see what was actually going on there in Remco Chem, but we're on Turbo for some reason. And I am going to keep on pointing out these little things because it's just facts. I love this control by Devo. That's so well done. If he needed to there, he could have dodged behind the ball to force a 50-50, but he knew he didn't have to because he saw the fake was working.
So many opportunities, nothing going towards the net just yet. There's one of their better opportunities
here. That was almost straight in from Turbo Pulse's second 50-50. Oh, this is where it all goes wrong, I think. So Turbo with a really bad clear, and Jacob just punishes it. Jacob's shooting was on point though. This shot was not in the correct side of the goal, but he got to the ball fast and he hit the ball hard. That's the two keys. He didn't hit it to the right side of the goal, but he did enough. Yeah, Turbo with a panic clear. Not what he was going for.
Can you please ban me? I was banned for one man spamming a joke and you explained me why I shouldn't do it and said that you will ban me, but you didn't.
I don't know how to spell your name, dude. Like, I copy pasted your name. Look, I'm copy pasting and I'm typing unban and it doesn't work. It says that that person isn't banned when I type it. I tried though. I copy pasted Mark King 25 and unbanned it, and it said that you're not banned.
But that did not mean that there was a lack of offense. 13 shots coming out from NRG here in this game.
NA did better than most of EU. That's just not true, I'm afraid. Rogue were 5th equal. In fact, the final 5 teams to be alive in this tournament were 4 EU teams and NRG. And then the next 2 games to knock out teams were both EU versus EU. And then as soon as NRG did play again, they lost. So I feel like on the final day, there was no... The only teams that knocked out EU teams on the final day was EU teams. The gap has not closed. European teams are still far ahead of the top North American teams.
Rogue is the clear favorite here, but NRG, we hadn't seen them play yet, and I can't even measure which one was louder.
I really hope that RLCS Season 4 goes back to America, East Coast or Central. That would be my choice. Personally, we should probably skip this. This is taking ages. Oh, it did work? There we go. Okay, Mark King, gotcha. Compared to the Rosaners, NA performed better, probably on LAN. NRG are just by far the best North American team on LAN at the moment. It's not close. Like Rogue did well. They beat Leftovers, but Leftovers have always been pretty inconsistent. And apart from their win over Leftovers, Rogue didn't really play very well in any other series, or they didn't play as well as they wanted to. The thing to remember is that teams like Resonant nearly made it into RLCS over Flipside, and there's also there are other dangerous teams in Europe as well, like Gale Force were looking great all season, and then they just fell short right at the end. Whereas in North America, it really only looked like there was 1, maybe 2 good teams. G2 were a big question mark. Even if they did make it to the LAN, they were going to be a big question mark. But I think they would have had a better chance at competing against the top EU teams than Rogue did. Mainly because they would have been fan favorites by miles, and also because I think that JNaps is a very, very good player at the moment. Certainly better than anyone in Rogue. But look at this placement by Jacob. His first jump wasn't even in the correct direction, but he dodged away from the ball perfectly. He had to dodge to the left there, which isn't entirely what you want to do if you're shooting to the right, but placement was on point. Jacob's second time this series that he's just boomed it in the corner. Animax Ultimate, thanks for the 5-month resub, appreciate that. I'm not biased, I'm just telling you how it is. Europe was a way stronger region at the moment in Rocket League. It's just the truth. There's nothing that I want changed about RLCS. I don't think that Europe need more LAN teams than America, as I've heard some people say. I don't think that that's a good idea though, myself. I just simply state that I think
can't believe that
Europe has more good teams.
I'm still here subscribing to that nose.
Frankimus, welcome back, 5 months in a row as well for you.
Remco will clear it away first. They'll get it out. They'll dodge that bullet, but still, NRG was so much pressure in game 2. And remember,
nearly really good play by Jacob, trying to set the ball up to the wall for himself to follow.
They have not played a lot with Turbo Pulso, but he seems to have really found a groove early on.
Oh, Fireburner and Garrett now, both very interesting touches. Remco had to be careful there. Look how deep Northern Gaming are sitting. That these are free hits for NRG. Really bad news for Northern, because they're giving an entire half of the field for NRG to play with. And I feel like NRG's defense, although it wasn't the best at the tournament, it was certainly able to function if you don't pressure it. NRG were not making unforced errors, which you might see from some of the OCE teams. Again, I mean, the strategy for Northern Gaming in their first game against Jam was, let's just sit back and wait for them to leave an opening and then exploit it. But if you do that against NRG, I don't think it's going to work, because Fireburner and lately Garrett have been so good at reading passes and positioning well in defense, getting up high for midfield aerials.
target.
Fireburner will send it off the wall to
And in game one, I think the biggest chances that I think there was 2 or 3 really big chances that Northern Gaming had, and they all came from Turbo Pulsa centering the ball and Devo being ready to follow up straight away. So if there's no more of that, then there wasn't really any other way that Northern Gaming had looked threatening. The crowd just got suddenly so loud there. I wonder if they amped up the microphone. I wouldn't mind that. Just being able to hear more of the crowd on stream. I'm a big fan of crowd noise. Great first touch by Jacob.
Jacob will transition this one back out.
Of course, at this point, everybody expects all these players to be able to do these double touches. Jacob's been bossing game 2 here. I feel like Jacob was certainly MVP of MVP for NRG in this series.
Oh, Devo sends it back into the box. Jacob clears it away. He has the opportunity past Turbo, past Remco.
Do you think Northern would have won if they did not have Turbo? I think so. I think that Remco, Maestro, Devo would have still been the best team at the tournament had they been there. I think they would have won. Have I seen the new RLCS format? If not, check Twitter. I didn't know that they changed the format. No, I'll have to take a look. Bit disappointed not to see Garrett pass that ball directly to Jacob there. Although he thought he had an opening. A little bit of panic here from Observer. Would you say there's a significant difference in playstyle between start bets and non-start bets? Yeah, there generally is. Start bets are, for the most part, more reactive than non-start bets at the highest level. Or at least the very best ones anyway. They like to slow down the play and control the ball more than non-start bets. Yeah, Garrett, clean off that sweat. You need to get rid of those beads of sweat from your hands, man.
Watching the veterans get more and more comfortable. Every land they come back, and they are more and more excited to get the crowd on their side here. NRG 1 game away now. They take games 1 and 2.
I don't even know who Comriscat is. I've seen people say Comriscat. I don't even know who that is. I'm sorry. Comriscat.
They take their opportunity and they move back. Well, NRG is just sieging it up, just shot after shot onto goal.
And something I would have mentioned in game 1 is that NRG had yet to play until today.
You thought MVP could have gone to Devo, Remco, or Turbo? I think that it was correctly allocated. I feel like Devo was the MVP for me because of his ability to, you know, create chances against the top teams at the tournament, besides themselves.
Who would win in a fight? Your nose or Marquis' eyebrows?
I mean, that's not really fair. It's a 2v1, but it would be a close battle for sure. I wonder if there will ever be a nose topper. A nose topper, I doubt it. I really doubt it.
NRG's got it in 3 games, but this has been the season of reverse sweeps. You never know what's going to happen.
He's part of ATR. I don't know who they are either, I'm afraid. That name means nothing to me. Thatcher H, welcome to the stream, by the way. Appreciate that sub. Loving the NRG chants as usual. I would love to hear some more creative chanting, like UK style football chants where we just make up really dumb rhymes about players and chant that. Nice demo. Really well done here. I think it's Jacob again. It is Jacob. That demo, it blinded the defense as well. Hey Karma, thanks for the host, appreciate that. And also, really good series against Pronovi earlier, that was nuts. I had a lot of fun casting that one. I hope you had a good stream. See you on Thursday as well, if assuming that you're also arriving in Sweden on Thursday. Yeah, Jacob's been on fire this series. Sir Zachary95, welcome to the stream for you as well. Appreciate the sub. A lot of Twitch Prime subs today, guys. I appreciate that. I'm sure lots of you have just swung by from YouTube to link up your Twitch to your Prime. Thanks for the time of day to do that. What does NRG stand for? I mean, it's I think just an abbreviation or like a pun on energy.
tie game. Northern Gaming's on the board.
Watch the way Northern Gaming comes up for this.
I can see I can hear the disappointment in the casters' voices. That was pretty smart for Devo actually. He kind of forced Fireburner into that center ball by backing out of the 50-50. Fireburner was looking for a 50-50 with Devo, but he ended up just slamming it straight into the sidewall because Devo faded away.
4 minutes left of the tie game.
Oh, Jacob flying down the field very quickly. Fireburner in the air with a follow-up, but Garrett G lurking at the midfield line. He'll now move up in that third position, rotate in.
Alright, so double rotation out. This should mean lots of time for Northern Gaming, but they kind of just rush their attack again. I feel like Northern Gaming are getting frustrated by the speed of NRG and they're being forced into misplays. Garrett missing. Should he have scored this? Or did he need to place it as well as he was hoping to? Like, this jump for Turbo is so ambitious. He has to do it though because the pass from Fireburner to Jacob is so good and Jacob is so quick these days. But I don't know if Jacob meant to fake that. I would love to see Jacob's eyes on that, to see if he backed away or if he backflipped. Let's watch again and see if we can spot a backflip from Jacob. That's so sick if he faked this aerial. This is why it's sometimes better to spectate the attack. You can spot things like this. Yeah, so Jacob, I'm not sure if it was probably a combination of two things. He probably initially jumped to try and take a shot and then realized he wasn't on a good line, so he just backed away from it. But it worked out even better because his shot would have probably been blocked and Garrett should have scored this 100%. Garrett tried to boom it top left, or top left. He should have scored that for sure. Fake aerials are so powerful in Rocket League 3v3 because you never expect somebody to fake an aerial. Pro players are so proud these days, or not even these days, but it's such a mental thing. You know, you don't want to miss an aerial. Nobody wants to miss an aerial. It just makes you look bad, makes you look like a noob, so nobody does it. But nobody expects anyone to miss an aerial as well, because why would you miss an aerial? Why would you deliberately miss the ball? Use all that boost, jump into the air, and then deliberately miss. You know, it's such a unlikely thing to occur that really increases the deadliness of it. Like fake aerial plays, like the one we just saw, should have set up a 2-1 lead for NRG. And if it was intended, that's awesome. Well played. First touch from Garrett on point. Notice the subtle air roll into the ball right there just to make sure that the recoil wasn't going to knock him out of the way. Great placement. A shot wouldn't have gone in, but the double touch certainly does. Garrett very, very good at those. Certainly one of the best in North America at double touching from his own aerial setups. Like I was saying, if it was intentional from Jacob to fake that aerial setup Garrett shot that he should have scored, then really well played by Jacob. Again, I've said this before, but Jacob, in my opinion, the best assister in the game, not just North America.
Win this one here, they move on. It'll be the 3-0 sweep. Fireburner lofting this one high. Turbo pulls it over to the side. And Jacob back into the corner, keeping the pressure.
But yeah, series that could have gone a lot better to start off with for Northern Gaming. Just really got away from them.
Put it straight back into the orange corner. Devo with the soft touch. Garrett G with the shot. This is the same.
Another demo and another shot that should have gone in. Garrett could have scored a hat-trick already. Wait, did Garrett score the first goal this game as well? Can't remember if he should at least be on 3. Who scored the first goal here? I've forgotten. But yeah, Garrett should have been scoring more. So many chances for NRG though, it's very impressive. Northern Gaming just not having very many efficient uses of possession. They're just giving it away every single time. We saw Turbo there giving the ball away. They're always reacting to everything Northern Gaming are doing. They're not trying to make any reads. They're always trying to catch up almost. Again, kind of just giving the ball away. This time Devo finally getting something with a mid-game cheat.
You should try
to no avail, no follow-up.
RLCS Season 4.
VedXG, thanks for the resub. Appreciate that, buddy. I should try to be a cast for LCS season. I would gladly cast Season 4 LAN. I've said this multiple times. I love LAN casting. It's a lot of fun.
Love.
Eyes on Twitch, thank you for the, I believe, $10 donation. £7.80 or $7.89. I guess that is a number that makes sense also. Thank you very much. And the message said grow. I don't know why that was. Oh, actually, I do know why grow was. I do know why that was filtered. Not the rewards spam. Are you serious?
Because they have to score here. He'll put the pressure on. But Garrett G, the new defender for NRG, keeps it away. Final 20 seconds.
Certainly, Northern Gaming would have had to go for a lot more hard reads on what NRG were doing this game. NRG were just sitting back and letting Northern hit the ball at them. And then Northern Gaming didn't go for any interceptions. Well, not as many as they should have. It's noteworthy Devo tried to go for a double touch play to tie the game there at the end, but he wasn't able to do it. So Garrett on this day was able to pull off what Devo could not. Who else do you guys think would be in the conversation of the best double touch aerialists when, you know, they're setting up the double touch from the air? I think for me it's Garrett, Devo, and Mystic probably.
Maybe we just don't know how to beat European teams, but finally they do it. A valiant effort from Northern Gaming. The games were close.
That's crazy. 3-0 is a really surprising score. I did not expect this at all. I thought Northern Gaming were going to take it, especially after they took the lead. JNaps, well, JNaps wasn't at the LAN. Jazer, Squishy, he's not at the LAN either. I'm talking about LAN players.
He's going to be set to go on the run.
Hopefully me and Shogun as a casting duo. Yeah, I love casting and Shogun. It's great. Great fun.
We'll find out from NRG later.
I think one of my favorite
medium shirt. Oh, Turbo. I love Turbo.
Double commitments or panic moments in goal. Every time a goal happened, it's because the team got outplayed on both sides. Northern Gaming was able to outplay NRG for their goals. NRG able to outplay Northern Gaming for their goals. And seeing that on a
Cuxer? Yeah, obviously Cuxer.
It's really something pretty.
Yeah, just so much pressure added by NRG. And as you said, though, Northern Gaming...
I mean, most of Cuxer's double touch plays start from like a wall shot or a ground shot.
Right now, we don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to perform. And going up against NRG...
Robbie Rich RL, welcome to the stream. Appreciate the sub. It was really good to see NRG doing so well, though. I was very happy for them that they did as well as they did. I was hoping that they would make winners finals, personally, just so that there would be a North American team in the finals. Oh, is this the interview where Jacob has no idea what to do with his hand? I think it is. So pay attention to Jacob's hand here. That's all you need to look at. The only thing we need to pay attention to is Jacob's left hand and its struggle to find comfort. So good. He's like, what do I do with my pinky? I can't get it in here.
What would you like to say back to that? Do you have a response at all?
Thank you, Remco. Thank you.
Gave you guys a little motivation.
Oh, so
all good?
Remco is savage, of course, but Jacob fires back.
Garrett was playing out of his mind back there, defensive plays and stuff like that. Is it cool having him?
Shucky Fails, welcome back for the second month in a row. Appreciate it.
Apparently, I forgot to unsub.
Ha!
Might have some money. You'll probably get more next month too.
So there's Jacob's accidental F-bomb live in front of 100,000 viewers. That is pretty embarrassing.
We'll go with that. We'll go with insane.
I won't play it back.
What else you'd like to say to your fans, your family?
But yeah, great use of the pocket here from Jacob. I like to highlight once again. The video audio is too low. Yeah, I know. I kept it low because I knew Jacob was about to drop an F-bomb. Jacob banned. Yeah.
Feels good, man.
What is Jacob doing?
All right, guys, we're going to send it back over to the desk for now, but once again, NRG breaking the curse and winning their...
I can't believe they left it in the YouTube video. They could have bleeped that out or something. And it would still like have had as much effect as it did there. Let me get the next series ready. I'll pause it. I'm going to break here just so we can split this into the next video.